Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. We are talking about biography of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him. Praise be to Allah, peace and blessing be upon his messenger, Prophet Muhammad, his family, and his companion. We talked about the birth of Prophet Muhammad. We talked about his name, peace and blessing be upon him, and we talked about his birth, peace and blessing be upon him. And we are going to talk about his babyhood, نشأته صلى الله عليه وسلم. But before talking about his babyhood, peace and blessing be upon him, in this presentation we will delve into how the Arab nobles used to raise their children, emphasizing the significance of specific criteria in their child-rearing practices. So let's see how the Arab nobles used to raise their children. All pictures of Prophet's family, peace and blessing be upon him, are not real photo. So let's see. It was the custom of the nobles of Mecca to send their children to be nursed by Bedouin wet nurse in the desert. Bedouin wet nurse in the desert. So why did the Arab nobles send their children to wet nurse in the desert? This was done to ensure that the children would grow up in the open and healthy environment of the desert. They benefit from the fresh air of the desert. They play and have fun in the spacious surroundings, allowing them to develop strong physical constitution and raising strong and brave children. This was very important for the Arabs, to raise strong, brave children. This is the most important for the Arabs, and for being free from those vices that usually develop in sedentary societies, and also avoiding the evils of civilization. They want them to be free and avoid these evils of civilization. The Arabs also believed in infection, and they used to take preventive measures, such as taking some patients out of them and quarantine them, or leaving the area of infection. And it must also be taken into account that Mecca, being a center for pilgrimage and trade, was exposed to the entry of many diseases through the convoys coming from different regions. Therefore, it is logical for the people of Mecca to take some measures to protect their children from infection. The Arabs also want their children to acquire the pure language and the manners of the Bedouin people in terms of moderation and patience. The Bedouins were renowned for the purity of their language, but in Mecca the language mixed with other languages. Mecca, being a hub for pilgrimage and trade, attracts people from various nationalities who speak different languages. Exposing a child to this linguistic diversity from an early age may influence the child's ability to speak Arabic fluently, especially during their formative years. And the Arabs were very proud of their language. We should know that the Arabs were very proud of their language. They were distinguished in the art of literary style and were celebrated for the eloquence of their language. So it is very important for them to their children to speak fluent Arabic. They used to hold assemblies and gatherings to compete in poetry and oration. Their love for poetry was so great that they selected the 7 odes, wrote them with gold water on papyrus, and hung them on the walls of Kaaba. Among the Arabs, both men and women were interested in literature. For example, Al-Khansa was very well known for her beautiful poetry. النابغة الذبياني was the first judge at the contest for pies. He used to attend the fair of Ukaz during its season. Fair of Ukaz is a market, like like a big market, but mainly for poetry. For poetry, and the poets used to come to النابغة الذبياني for his opinion. They used to write their poetry also on the stone. Here, this is النابغة الذبياني, write his poetry on a stone. And this is Umru al-Qais. Those are very famous poets. So it is also logical that one of the primary reasons why the Arab nobles send their children to the desert is to ensure that they will acquire proficiency in the Arabic language. So in conclusion, we can say that the Arabs were concerned with raising children with a healthy upbringing. They aimed to raise a strong, courageous child with a strong personality, moral values, and defined social etiquette. The Arabs' interest in the qualities of their children is evident in their commandments. If we see Hatim al-Ta'i, for example, one of the very known poets, he was considered a well-established poet in his time, and Hatim al-Ta'i also was very famous of being one of the most generous people. Stories about his extreme generosity have made him an icon among Arabs up until today, as evident in the proverbial phrase, more generous than Hatim. So if you want to say to someone that you are very generous, you are extremely generous, you can say to him, you are more generous than Hatim, because Hatim was the most generous in Jahiliyyah before Islam. He was very known and very famous for being very generous. Hatim al-Ta'i says to his son Adi, "That's my son. If you see that evil, he will leave you. If you leave him, then leave him." See, these are few words, but they carry within them a lot of good meanings and deep wisdom.